Okay, we are live.
All good. Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. We're going to get this meeting started. Our chair, Kevin, is absent this evening, but we're going to go ahead and with the meeting. First, like to call it to order at 6:15 p.m. If I could get somebody to approve the agenda that was sent out.
I'll approve the agenda or make a motion to approve.
Thank you. And second. Tracy. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Perfect. And did everybody have a chance to look through the minutes of the previous meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
If I can get somebody to approve make a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
Thank you, Jeannie. And seconded by
I will second that.
Linda. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, so moving on to the agenda items. The first item on the agenda was recruitment for subcommittee. And I'm just wondering if Justin or if Kevin had spoke to either of you in regards to that item, if anybody has some insight on that.
I can. So
Okay.
essentially what that is the idea that the BIA should establish a recruitment subcommittee. It would be a subcommittee of the board. It would be I don't know what you call it, a standing subcommittee that could both identify potential new board members if an opening were to arise, and probably more importantly, could cut down on the time required to add new members to the board. So the recruitment subcommittee would make the initial request that was made at the last board meeting. So we could be directed to start with the paperwork that the new board members would need to complete to join the board. And then it would just come to the next BIA meeting rather than need a cycle of 2 BIA meetings and a council meeting.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So if that was something that you wanted to do, you would just establish tonight that subcommittee exists. And I don't know if you could really fill it this evening, since we have somewhat low numbers, but just sort of looking at the idea that subcommittee should be there and be sort of part of your regular operations moving forward.
Okay. What's everybody else think? I think that's a great idea. It saves some time and saves some back and forth.
I agree. I think it's a great idea to have that in place, just in terms of it will save a lot of time and effort in the future. So completely agree.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we need to make a motion for that? Okay. Now, so I have a question because I'm chairing the meeting. Can I still go ahead and make a motion? Like I know Kevin as the chair does not usually make the motion. Can I still make a motion just having chairing the meeting?
Best practice would be to have another member
Okay.
take the motion.
Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion for?
Okay, so I will make a motion that we establish a subcommittee to establish a protocol for recruitment moving forward for directors.
Okay, and seconded.
I will.
Jeannie. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, motion carried. Perfect. I think that's a great idea. And then maybe we'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting to actually develop the subcommittee. All right, follow up on medics for events. Justin, I think Kevin said that you were on that one as well.
So Kevin has spoken with Tyler Savage, who is the owner of Medic for Events, and they recently opened a training center in Prescott Place right behind Kevin's store. They provide medical services for events, and they also do training on a variety of first aid type medical training. And so Kevin spoke with him, and Tyler has verbally offered an extraordinarily good deal for BIA members. Kevin's just getting confirmation in writing, but it's the kind of deal that I don't think many members will want to turn down to get CPR training. So there's a limit. As of the current restrictions, he's limited to 6 per class. So I don't know what limits under this arrangement there will be for the number of people who can receive the training at the price he has offered to Kevin. But once we receive that confirmation, Kevin receives that confirmation there, you could go ahead with, I could do some advertising solicitation out to BIA members and offer this training, because I think people will be eager to take it at what seems to be offered. And Tyler also discussed the possibility with him, the idea of perhaps partnering on some medical equipment for the BIA area. So that's something he's also going to confirm what he would like there and sort of how that would fit in. So I don't mean to be vague, but since nothing has been placed in writing yet, I don't want to be particularly specific either, but I think it's going to be the kind of opportunity that a lot of businesses are going to want to take them up on, because it's going to be a great chance both for the individuals and just sort of for the BIA area to have some more expertise in training, and especially considering the demographic that may visit downtown most frequently. It's something that I think probably is very important to have there as well.
I can
Awesome.
just chime in too. He did recommend or just suggest that he did have defibrillators available if there was interest. So I did mention that potentially for the museum, that was the suggestion that was made by Medics for Events. So I did mention that to our CAO just to look at from a town perspective if we already have a supplier. But I think that would be a great suggestion. I'm not 100% sure what the inventory is in the downtown when it comes to private businesses. But from a municipal perspective, we generally tend to have one in most of our facilities.
Do we have any idea
maybe a source
when?
of defibs for other businesses if there is an interest?
Yeah, it'd be good to put that out there for the other businesses. Do we have an idea on when we'll know the cost of it? When we'll?
Well, Kevin was hoping to hear back from him formally by tonight, but
Okay.
unless the email came in since 6 o'clock, it hasn't come in there yet.
No worries. Okay. Good. Sounds like that's going to be a great deal. Perfect. Okay, next on the agenda was following up on the pole wraps. And Matthew, I think that was you.
I will let Dana take that one.
Okay.
Okay, so we have been working on the pole wrap design as well as confirming the dimensions. It's amazing how apparent it's become that every single pole we have in the downtown is different. So getting those dimensions has honestly been probably the most time-consuming part. Our operations department has been working away diligently at that, and we do have some draft designs here that are ready. If I can just, I'm going to share my screen here, and then you can take a look at what we're looking at. Matt, am I blocked? I think I'm blocked from sharing as the co-host. I'm not seeing the option. Yes, I'm looking in the wrong place.
Right now.
Oop. There we go. So as far as the actual location, just as I get this open, we are looking at basically all of the intersections from Edward Street. I think we were looking all the way down to St. Lawrence, if I'm correct. That would take us all the way down to Katarina's. So that would cover basically the main blocks for the downtown core, aside from the one block running from Edward to East. And there really weren't any poles that made sense at that location. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, can everybody see my screen okay?
Yep.
And I'll just kind of zoom in on the actual design here. So you'll see a bit of a mock-up here on the actual pole, just to show very loosely what they'll look like. And this is the design that we came up for the Riverwalk. So we've done two designs. The first one is a nod more to the downtown Prescott Riverwalk district. Really just a welcome message with a QR code that will link people to the business directory on the downtown Prescott website. And then it also has our URL pole or URL on the pole wrap. And then just a graphic of the cannon, which is pulling out of the logo for the Riverwalk district. And then we have the shop local version, very similar in colors, really trying to keep that branding consistency. And we went with our downtown streetscape as the design, town website for the URL, and then the QR code links to the shop local page of our website. Just take you back to the Riverwalk. And I really like the stone feature that they did in behind here. It gives it that very historic feel.
Agreed.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, so we were thinking, messaging, very, very simple, just kind of a nice welcome message. There are options there if members wanted to see something else, but I think they're really just meant to provide a bit of a touch point for people and hopefully get them directed to the website so they can connect and start to peruse the great businesses that we have. And I think they do work as a nice complement, the shop local and then welcome to Prescott's Riverwalk district.
I think they look great.
Yeah, I think they're going to be really nice.
And we got the materials, we got the sample that came in and they scan perfectly. We're very pleased with them. These were just kind of the sample. I asked them to send these first just to make sure, because QR codes can be a bit wonky when it comes to scanning on different materials. And once these come in, you'll see once you get up close to them, they've got, they're very texturized. So we weren't 100% sure if the QR codes would scan, but they do. So we're pleased and pretty much ready to go. If the board's happy with the designs, we just have a couple more things to tweak related to dimensions, but I think we'll be placing our order by Monday, I would say at the very latest. And Matthew, remind me, what was the turnaround time? Do you recall? I don't.
I believe it was 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
Dana, are there different like what would that be? Like 4 feet tall, maybe?
I think they're 5 feet. I was just looking at the spreadsheet today.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're 5 feet. And then I think we were looking at possibly painting the remainder of the poles to cover up the rust. I think that was the plan for the rest of the poles.
Okay. For some reason I had in my vision that it would be more of the pole.
More
but you're right.
expansive.
I
I
think
did
I
too.
forgot about the paint. Yes.
So basically it will start 2 feet off the ground. It will go for 5 feet. So the top of it will be at the 7-foot mark. So that QR code and the wording and whatnot will be straight on when you're in a car.
Mm-hmm. Or right at eye level, like where that woman is in the picture, the
Mhm.
pedestrian is on the corner. And I think if we're getting into like a full pole wrap, the cost would be like these in themselves are quite expensive, and they have recommended that we order a second set. So we're just kind of looking at that right now and seeing what we've got for budget, just to protect, kind of like we did with the banners, in case any get damaged, then we've got them there on hand. But they are meant to be quite durable, so we're really debating on the need for the second set at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Does everybody else like them?
Yes.
The designs
them.
and the colors? Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
love them.
perfect. Do we need a motion to go ahead and order, like to approve that design, or are we good from our previous motion to order them?
We're good to go. So this is a one
Okay.
that's shared between the town and the BIA. So we just wanted your feedback this evening, and then we just have to firm up our measurements, and we should be good to go.
Now, on that note of extras, did the BIA want to consider allocating funds to purchase an extra set of BIA pole wraps? Just throwing it out there.
What is the cost for an extra set of BIA wraps?
So so maybe we could provide even a follow-up email with that cost. I don't know it off the top of my head. Do you, Matthew, know what the cost per wrap was? I could probably get it by the end of the meeting. I know I've got the documentation here.
Yeah, I don't quite remember, but
Okay, well, I'll search my files here in the meantime. Maybe we can just carry on with discussion and I can add a little update at the end.
Well, and I think it's also like, do we really, it's a conversation as well. Do we need to get a complete second set, or do we need to have like a partial
Maybe
order?
a half second set even. Yeah.
You know,
That's
just
not-
because in terms of proximity to weather and that type of thing, some of them may last longer than the others. So do we really need a full second set, or do we need like a half or a quarter?
Tracy, do you have it in your notes what the allocation was?
We've allocated $2,500.
Okay.
And I was just wondering, like, are there any reviews, or do they let you know what the longevity is going to be, like what the lifetime is of the wrap?
yeah. So the ones that I have in Toronto have been there for upwards of 8 to 12 years, and
Okay.
they're just starting
Dang.
to come
Wow.
out. So
Yeah, so we probably don't need a full set then.
I
wouldn't
was
think
thrown
so.
when the recommendation for the second set came out, to be honest with you, because I thought that was one of the main purposes, is they were meant to be durable. And
Mhm.
Well, I can see like if someone slams into it, you know, like if there's an accident or something, because that could happen.
Like
So it does make sense if you're going to do it, to make sure you've got a couple of extras that are particularly branded and consistent, but I don't know that we need a full order. But good on them for trying to upsell.
They're
that's
doing
what
their
I'm thinking.
job.
I'm going to email
You
the
know?
supplier and just
Like-
see what the rationale of this recommendation is before we just go ahead with what they're saying we should be doing.
Like an idea to consider, if we were going to get extras, maybe just like have a couple for Christmas, or you know what I mean? Something like that could be targeted to something else.
Yeah. Well, I'll have an update at the next board meeting. And of course, if this is, God forbid, going to be a lot more expensive to add to it versus just doing it all at once, then you'll hear from me. But I would definitely question the need for the second set.
Okay, awesome. So maybe by the end of August, we'll have some new pole wraps on our poles. It'll be very exciting. All right, moving on to the next agenda item. We have an update from Justin.
So I will run through, I believe, 3 things here. The first is Digital Main Street. So we're preparing the application for the Digital Service Squad 3.0 grant, which will allow us to hire a new DSS member. They're accepting those applications now, so we've just been putting it together, getting letters of support from partners. Tracy provided one from the BIA. Thank you very much, Tracy. It was timely and will be right in there. The actual business grant, the digital transformation grant, will reopen towards the end of this month from the province, from OBIAA. And this time, all commercially zoned businesses will be eligible. So all businesses that either directly or indirectly pay commercial property taxes will be eligible to apply. Last time, there were very strict restrictions related to basically BIA areas and those zoned consistently with it, which excluded a lot of businesses, especially in Edwardsburg, Cardinal, and Augusta, and that's going to open up much more dramatically this time. So there should be many more eligible businesses. In general, the Shop Here program, which built websites for businesses, it will continue. They're still offering that, so businesses can sign up and have a website built for free. But the Future Proof program, which was the one that assigned an entire team to businesses to do basically an entire digital overhaul, it was not refunded, so it's not going to continue. But the business grant, the digital service squad aspect, and the Shop Here program, they'll all be part of the Digital Main Street going forward. I don't know if anyone has any questions before I hop to the next topic or in there.
Nope.
So next
Just a
topic.
complaint, I guess, about the future proof. I'm still crossing my fingers that maybe they'll reconsider that, because I think that in tandem with the other programs was, you know, our businesses really got, I would say, the most benefit out of that future proof program.
Yeah, provided a lot of labor to businesses. And I think that might be why it's a little slow being refunded, because I imagine it was the costliest of them, even including the grants.
Yeah.
So second, Ontario by Bike. Really, I think, moved forward quite a bit in the last month on Ontario by Bike. So the town will be purchasing basic repair kits for all the registered businesses in Prescott. Those repair kits are actually only required for accommodations and campgrounds, but we thought if every business that registered for Ontario by Bike had one in there, that might be an added benefit for both the program and sort of raising awareness going through there. So those basic repairs are just, repair kits are basic tools, hex wrenches, a good pump, and some patching kits. So 2 additional local businesses have agreed to sign up. I had to go down to Quality Creation this week. So Jeannie and I
Wednesdays.
Wednesday, I'll slide down to Quality Creations and hopefully we'll get them all registered up. One of the North End businesses, El Rebost, is going to register, and the Fort is planning to register as an attraction on there, which should be a pretty good addition. I had noticed that Fort Henry had signed up on there, so that's getting Fort Wellington on there as well should be a benefit.
Cool.
And as we get to the more general, so they have the business area designation. And under that business area designation, it can't be the municipality that makes the lead on the application. It must be a BIA or other community group. Now, that doesn't mean that our Ontario by Bike business area is exclusively the BIA. It can include any business that's up to 3 kilometers from that designated area in our little catchment, but the BIA has to sort of be the lead partner, lead applicant on it. So under that, the museum visitor center would still serve as the sort of central Ontario by Bike location, and we're coming up with some ideas to sort of even make that more appealing for the Ontario by Bike, perhaps some partnerships, getting a small amount of bike repair equipment that people could purchase in their tubes, chains, things like that. That would still be the central location, and the town would still take care of everything associated with the business area designation, but the BIA would be the lead applicant on that. So if that's something you wanted to go forward with, we just need a resolution tonight affirming your support for that and desire to be the lead applicant for the business area designation to Ontario by Bike, and we could move forward with that process. We won't be able to finish it until we have the location ready for that central bike location, but we can move a long way down the road there quickly, I think.
So just from
think of that.
from a general perspective, why wouldn't we want to be involved?
Mhm.
Absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
There's no,
Like,
it makes
I
perfect
think-
sense. It gives
right?
us the opportunity to market the community as a bike-friendly destination, which has been, something that we're really trying to harness and develop more. And I think we're going to have greater opportunities to start building that cycling tourism out. This is really the first step, right?
And if we look at our downtown businesses, it makes complete sense. We've got Zen's Inn, we've got Airbnbs down here. Like it just makes a lot of sense for us to be supporting that, because that's just going to bring more people in. And the restaurants and the ancillaries. Yeah, I can't see why we wouldn't want to do this.
And we're
I
at
agree.
a point now where we feel we're starting to get more of that infrastructure. We've got the new bike racks in. We're
Yep,
ordering those
agreed.
permanent bike repair stations from the same supplier that provided the benches and bike racks. So I think, and then the repair kits that we'll actually have inside businesses for cyclists to use. So I think we're in a better position now where we're at a point where it makes sense to be on that list. And we actually have some of those cycling amenities that cyclists are going to be looking for in our community.
So Justin, what does the proposition need to say? What?
I believe it would just essentially have to say that you support an application to the Ontario by Bike for the business area designation, and wish the Downtown Prescott BIA to be the lead applicant for that.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion that we make a proposition that the BIA be the primary on an application to Ontario by Bikes to support our local businesses. Is that okay?
For a business area designation. Should
For
put
a
that in there,
business area designation. Okay.
Okay. Someone want to send? Tracy seconded. Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Justin, will
Perfect.
Bike Ontario, will they provide a good decal window signage for those businesses, or is it something that we should be looking at developing in tandem with their logo?
If you go to both Katarina, I believe Katarina's has theirs up, and Kevin definitely has his up at Forwarders, so they have a good decal they all get there. Likely developing some sort of locally branded one wouldn't be a bad idea as well.
Yeah, and especially for the hub, like the kind of cycle-friendly hub where we're talking about having, more of a more services there, a better repair station, things of that nature. And I wonder if it's something that we could look at regionally too, down the road, and start looking at some regional branding around that cycling. Something I'll definitely discuss with some of the other municipal partners, but that's good. At least they do provide some good initial signage for those businesses that are registering.
Now, Justin, will you assist in doing the application for the BIA?
I'll take care of that. It should be fairly straightforward once it's more getting everything in place so we can there are additional requirements for the business areas, including having that central location that's designated as your, I forget the term they use for it, their central bike location, where you can have that additional information, which will be the visitor center. We will have to do a light amount of signage along the cycling route, which is basically just King Street down through there, identifying it as the central cycling route. That's all governed by the Ontario by Bike itself. So it's more some light administrative work and a little bit of light infrastructure work that needs to be done to get there. But we'll take care of that portion of things.
It would be similar to the waterfront trail signage that we have throughout our community. Very minimal little signage placards, just kind of guiding people along the way, denoting the fact that we are part of that Bike Ontario network.
Perfect. Oh, Tracy, you might be muted.
Oh, sorry. Am I muted?
I don't, you're good now.
Okay. Is there a spot, Justin, on the BIA Facebook or anywhere where businesses can get the information about how to sign up?
We haven't put it on the Facebook page yet, but we definitely can. We also
Okay.
could do, so the way that they have the Ontario by Bike business designation set up is there's no general business designation. It's more, you have the accommodations, campgrounds, food services, and then what they're calling, sorry, the name is escaped, attractions. So for example, Forward Games Antiques qualified under an attraction. So I believe they want a little bit of differentiation from, say, a standard convenience store or something when they're registering people under that attraction page. But we're definitely planning to do a more general, especially email campaign directly to the businesses to try to solicit. And I've been talking directly to some of the ones that I think would really fit into that. I think Quality Creations will really fit into that as a crafting store, and there's probably quite a few along there that would also fit in, and definitely trying to get as many of the restaurants, especially those with patios, to get on board, because those would be good spots along there. There'll definitely be marketing pursuing registration.
It's great. And are there fees for the for the signage to what fees are involved for getting the signage to designate the bike area, the bike routes?
I believe we'll be on our own to purchase those. I don't think they're coming from Ontario by Bike. They might have some design standards, but I think we have to design and purchase them. And I think that means that we can brand them as, you know, the Riverwalk cycling trail or something going down through there as well.
Okay, that's exciting. That's good news.
So just a thought tying back into the pole wraps, is there, maybe if we're going to do a second section, could we get some pole wraps that are branded towards the Ontario by Bike? Just throwing it out there.
The opportunities are limitless. If the desire is there among the board and they wanted to allocate a budget to that, we could absolutely add some wraps to some of the poles that haven't been done. They could even be more along the actual cycling, more path kind of areas. Where are those more kind of pedestrian level poles? Again, this would have to be a conversation with operations. To see what poles would be best suited for that. But definitely, there's a lot of opportunities. This is really just kind of the first. And then we could switch them out too, should we decide.
That's not a bad idea to have those along the route, even just, 2 or 3 around the area.
Yeah, here and there, just that kind of marker every
exactly
pole or something that
we have this, and when we designate the location, they know where they're going.
Yeah, and we could implement that instead of the traditional signs, even in some of those areas, right?
Yeah.
It would be a lot more visible than these teeny little metal waterfront trail signs that you see.
Yes.
Well, and if you're biking, you're going to be looking at these poles, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be seeing these things. Yeah.
And if we are getting to a point where we're looking towards more active transportation and possible downtown beautification, which would be a lot of, potential physical improvements, there may even be potential bike lanes down there at some point.
That would be the best.
Cycling paths. Again, I'm just, that's active transportation, right? So there could be potentially, if we're looking at downtown, look at the look on Matthew's face. Oh God, I've got him all worried. But they're going to be looking at like a downtown beautification. I can guarantee you a consultant is going to be making those recommendations that we should be putting more pedestrian, cycle-friendly amenities down.
We're
There is
opening
a
up a
trail.
whole can of worms for Matthew.
Yeah.
And he's like, nay.
Dana and her
Nay.
But yeah, back to the polls. It's a great idea.
Okay.
I think it's a
I'll
great
mute
idea.
myself.
All right, fantastic. Any other updates from you, Justin?
So one last one, the reopening contest, the Rediscover Our Riverwalk contest.
Yes.
Was a smashing success in the
Yay!
6
Great
locations we
job.
had. there was an overwhelming response. The response was so overwhelming that we're not going to be able to give out hoodies at every location moving forward. Kind of gotten a hoodie deficit there that we're working to overcome. So what we'd like
On
to
that
do,
note, Matthew, wait till you get the bill for the second order I had to put in.
I believe the hoodie situation will resolve, but we'd like to transition the
hoodie
contest. Could transition the contest to perhaps doing 3 of the dollar prizes at each of the locations moving forward, and then take all those 3 winners' names from, let's say, maybe 6 to 10 contests, put them in a bowl and draw a name for a hoodie, up to perhaps we could even do a moderate swag bag once every not insignificant number of contests. So we're not getting in that situation again, but transitioning more so that there is those little prizes at each one, and it's sort of allowing those 3 people to get the same thing, and then the opportunity to win what would be a bigger prize than the hoodie, perhaps at a juncture every few contests. Now the hoodies are, I don't know if everyone saw the Facebook post there yesterday, but the hoodies are now for sale at Old Magic and Forwarders Antiques, and they will be at once at 426 when we receive the new hoodies. And those heavy totes that everyone got their swag bag in, the hard-sided totes, are also for sale at all 3 places right now.
And you can put quality on for a 4th. I discussed it with our committee, and we'd be willing to sell them too, if that's all right.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you
Great.
for mentioning that, Justin. It's you know, in a roundabout way, it's been great because we've been able to promote them, and they're actually, now we're getting sales. So it's
Yeah.
we're not just giving the hoodies away, we're getting a lot of interest from it, and people are looking to buy now. So that's another beauty of these dollars, right? Is as we're putting dollars out, now we actually have places that we can sell them from, as well as, of course, we'll have the visitor center once that's open. And can try and drive people there as well to actually buy these souvenirs. So it's, yeah, we're seeing a lot of interest in them and quite a bit of uptake already.
And people definitely got excited over the contests.
That's fantastic.
They were
Yay.
heading into places, so that
Yeah,
was
great job.
really good, and gave everyone a little bit of each of the businesses a little bit of a boost too. I know in quite a few cases people spent their dollars right in there that day, so that was good.
That's amazing.
And I have
It
one
is.
new item to unveil. They just arrived this week. So we've done these special tote bags. We have these folding tote bags, shop local, with our little
Oh, great
QR
for the
codes.
market.
So
But they're
adored.
these little pouches, and they fold out into a regular full-size tote.
Wow, I love that.
Shop
Love
local
that.
and QR code on the one side, and a collage of all the fantastic images that our photographer has taken with our website
Those
URL.
will be
Beautiful.
fantastic for the
Oh,
farmer's
yeah.
market.
So we'll be
Those are
selling those as well.
unbelievable.
So they'll be coming out this week.
Unbelievable.
Those are really nice.
We're really pleased with how they turned out. And we thought with the whole, you know, everyone's going, we're trying to get away from the plastic. This would be a
Yep.
great way that we can support that green initiative and
Yeah.
offer our businesses with potentially a locally branded tote to use.
Nice.
Love it. And you know what? Tourists love that kind of thing as well.
Mhm.
You know, you like to get, like, when you're going somewhere, and I love it for the cyclists as well, because it's tight, it's compact. They can open it up, they can do their shopping and leave. But people love to have something like that that's branded, economically friendly, that it's something you can take home as a memory.
Mhm. And also you use.
You use
It's,
it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you use it. Yeah.
Especially the small totes are priced at, those totes will be priced at a point where people will also impulse buy them at the cash rather than take a different bag. So that should be
Mhm.
Perfect.
beneficial in getting them out.
Should commit to purchasing some and handing them out. What's everybody think?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I missed the first part of that.
Oh, sorry, I said maybe we should commit to purchasing some, like the
Oh.
BIA.
And then we hand them out. Yeah.
Maybe a little kind of giveaway at the beginning
Mm.
to,
Yeah. Just get them out there.
Yep.
Get people wanting them. Yeah.
Perhaps that would be good for the farmer's market, if you wanted to hand them out at the BIA table at the farmer's market,
I
perhaps.
think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
What is the price point, Justin?
I believe we settled on $5 for those, but Dana can confirm.
so enough to cover our cost essentially, basically.
Mhm.
Essentially,
could
we're
make it
selling them at
almost like a-
wholesale, not looking to make money off them necessarily, really just trying to get them out there being used.
Out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could
What
we
do you
make
think
it
you find?
engaging little like trivia or something? And the reward would be, instead of giving them away, is, where did the name Jessup come from? Or, what tugboat was just in town last weekend, something like that. I don't know.
Or offer
Or even a
maybe.
gift with purchase,
Oh,
just something simple,
Got a limited
just
number.
knowing the time that poor Justin had to put into the scavenger hunt contest and coordinating that.
or like Justin said, limited number, like the first, 25 people there or something.
Yeah.
We don't want to cannibalize our ability to sell them either.
Yeah,
That's true.
At
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
locations.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure
Maybe
the
just
accountant
even
in
at
Matthew
the-
likes that. So yeah,
Maybe do it at like the first farmer's market or something.
Mhm.
and you could limit them,
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
make
Have so
it-
many. Yeah. What are you thinking from a dollar perspective, Tracy?
So if they're $5 bag, I don't know how many you guys are thinking. If we don't want to give like a whole lot away, we could, I don't know, 25 bags at the first farmer's market or something.
Yeah. The first 25 to visit our table sort of thing.
And we could promote that, add that as part of the market promotions as a bit of an incentive, right? To get people out, first 25
Mhm.
shoppers get a special
Yeah.
gift.
I like it.
So do we want to do it all at once, or like if we're thinking of a 25 number, or do we do like the first 10 one day, the next 10, like we split it up a little bit? Just because I'm thinking, like, do we really want 25 people coming and just getting the swag? Or do we want to split it up so that there's like 10 people the first week, 10 people the next week, like 5 people the next week?
Could we use a stamping card with so many purchases at the different vendors at the market? Once it's filled, they get
Ooh,
free
I
bag.
like that. I like that.
That way they're not just visiting you guys and then leaving the market. They have to actually shop to the vendors and get a punch card, grab your card, fill it out. Each tent would have a stamp or a puncher that we could say, yes, they've made the purchase, and then present it to you guys when it's filled at the table.
I do like that. What do you guys think?
I kind of like the idea of having some as freebies just to draw people down initially.
And the other thing is you don't want to burden the vendors with having a lot to do, like
Mhm.
a lot more than what they're doing already,
But they want a lot to do.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I know,
Right.
but I
it won't take long to initial it or stamp it or punch it at a purchase. And once they fill the card, they can return it to the table to get their bag free of charge.
Wouldn't even have to get them to fill anything out though. It could just be a little card that each vendor has a stack, and everyone who makes a purchase gets one of those cards, and
Yeah.
first 25 people that take that card and turn it in at the BIA table get a free tote.
Gets the tote. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there.
Oh, we missed the first part, Tracy.
No, I was just gonna say, if they come to the table and they obviously have something that they've just purchased at the market.
Yeah, it should be obvious too if they leave, unless it's something small that's in their pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think either way we can incorporate it for sure into the farmer's market. And they're the perfect bag to shop at the farmer's market.
Or you could define these details with the marketing subcommittee. I think you did establish a bit of a marketing subcommittee. Maybe you want to look at doing that just to, kind of expedite when it comes to planning the details of these things. Board allocate a certain budget and then details of the promotion to be determined by the marketing subcommittee. I think it was Belinda, Kevin, or maybe it was everyone. I don't know if we ever got that whittled down to
Belinda,
Yeah, I
Kevin, and
remember.
Tracy, I believe.
Yeah.
is the established committee.
Yeah, and again, I'm just thinking the other thing that we could consider would be not necessarily having it at our table, but distributing them to people who are actually at the market. And when people purchase things, they get that as their bag.
Yeah, but give them to the vendors directly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then market the fact that, purchase something from a vendor and you're going to get something. Just not telling them what they're going to get. So yeah,
Yep.
I think you're right though. Take that to the subcommittee. Yep.
Okay. Do we need a motion on that at all, or just gonna carry that forward to the subcommittee?
I would suggest maybe establishing a budget, like a capped amount.
Okay. Does someone want to make that motion?
I can, I guess. Okay, let me think about this. The BIA make a motion to support or to purchase the Town of Prescott, I guess, shopping bags. Initially at a cost of, or $150. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
And refer the distribution to the marketing committee.
Perfect. Seconded. Somebody want to second that?
I will.
Jeannie, thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
And thanks, everyone. We're excited to get them out there, and I think this would be a great way to help introduce them to the community.
They look really nice. Linda sort of stepped away there. We made
Sorry, I'm back.
that the BIA purchased the Town of Prescott shopping bags and initially at a cost of $150 and refer the distribution to the marketing subcommittee. And Jeannie seconded that, and we're all in favor. Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Justin, that you had for your updates? That was great.
That's
You had
all for me.
That's perfect. The next item on the agenda was a in-camera session, but I'm not sure if anybody can speak to that. If anybody
Yep.
knew what that was for. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just about the new members.
Okay. Okay. So if I can have a motion to move to an in-camera session.
Make a motion to move to an in-camera session.
seconded by Tracy. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.